Hello. All right. I guess this is live now. I'm actually on. So I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to do live on Facebook as well as live on YouTube, because I thought I got the extra phone. Why not put content in two places at once? And we don't do enough live video from Facebook, so it's a good way to reach a couple different audiences, particularly with this content, the concussion stuff. So I'm going to give it a minute or two for some peeps to show up. I haven't really done a live video here yet, so I want to make sure that on Facebook, I haven't done a live video, so I'm just, there we go. Cool. Pull that up. So I'm just going to give it a minute while some people roll in. Looks like we got a few people on YouTube watching. We've got one person on Facebook Live. This is a bit of a test with both going at once. Hey, Troy, what's going on? How you enjoying your shirt, man? It's about time you got that thing. Look like you guys are having a nice time at your beach house there. It's awesome. Can everybody hear me okay and see me okay? Good to hear, man. Glad to hear it. Okay, just gonna give it a couple more minutes and then I have some notes. I've just been getting a few requests from people on YouTube and whatnot, some messages on Facebook and a couple of emails, just like asking for an update on the concussion stuff. And we actually, tonight we have an engagement. It's really cool. Actually, a friend is going through a brewmaster's course, and we're going to his end of term celebration where they're all showing off their beers that they've made. So we're not going to be around to post a video tonight, so I thought I'll just go live quickly this afternoon and talk about concussion update stuff and go with that for our Friday video, and hopefully it will give some advice, maybe some. Well, I'll update and tell people what I'm doing right now and what's going on, because I haven't really talked about it at all really in the last little while, and that's intentional because it starts to get old. But anyway, so I guess it's 2:32. We're probably going to be on here for maybe half an hour. We'll see what happens. See if anybody else rolls in. I know it's kind of a weird time. We're always trying to test at different times to see what works for people, but yeah. So that's what's up. So who else is watching? I don't know if anybody's posted in the chat yet on the YouTube chat here. We got Troy in the Facebook Live. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in because I think that whoever is here is probably who's going to be here, and then hopefully this will be. Whoa, hello. Going to be here. And hopefully this will be helpful for people in the future. Anyway, okay, let's jump in. So a few people had asked about a concussion update. This is that video. I'm just going to do a quick update on that. I've intentionally avoided this subject for a few months, if not longer, because I'm about 2.5 years out, and lots of things have definitely improved with much effort, much rest, much therapy, really focusing on health and nutrition. And at the same time, a lot of things. Hey, Christina, so glad to hear you. Camp Percussion, Christina in the house. Awesome. Thanks for coming. What I was just saying before is I'm just going to do an update. Some people have been wondering about my progress in my concussion experience. If you have stuff to share, then feel free to post that because I'm sure other people would benefit from that as well. I always feel a little bit strange posting this content on Ralph and Luke. It's not exactly like our vlog style stuff, but people ask about it, and hopefully there's some valuable information there. But okay, so update. Like I said, I haven't been really talking about it much the past probably year, because I wanted to give myself a break from thinking about recovery. Because like I said, I made a lot of improvements in about a year and a half, even up to 2 years, and then sometimes you just notice this sort of plateau effect. And when you're constantly consumed with thinking of new ways to improve and new therapies to do, and you're talking with other people, you're in Facebook groups, and you're getting inundated with advice and sort of like positive and negative experiences of people who have had head injuries, and it just becomes very overwhelming. So I decided to distance myself from that for a little while, and I have done that, and it has been the best thing that I have done in my recovery, honestly, because it just allowed me to get that sort of like negative space out of my head that was just constantly like, what should I be doing? What shouldn't I be doing? And constantly just like turning those wheels. So here I am talking about it. Like I said, I made a lot of progress, but there's some things that haven't really gone away. And for me, that is some visual things. It's really difficult for me to explain. This is another reason why I've tried avoiding the topic for a long time. And so visual, that's why I have these glasses. These are prism glasses. I've gone through 3 different pairs of these. And basically, it helps how the light hits your eye and helps you rewire your visual systems. They've definitely helped, but there's still some weirdness with my visual movement. I don't know how to explain it other than things seem to move differently. And this caused a lot of problem initially for me driving. It caused a lot of problem for me working in front of a screen. It still causes problem working in front of a screen. I can definitely work a lot longer, but I do notice it more when I spend, hours in front of a computer, which is my job. So that's not always fun. Fogginess, disconnectedness, that's still a huge thing. It's like one of my largest frustrations is just like sometimes I feel like I can't distinguish between dream and reality. And I feel like that's another one that's tough to explain. And I'm not really sure how to address that one. I think it's all associated. I think it's sort of like the visual system is still messed up, and it's super expensive to address. And so not addressing that has like created this fogginess and disconnect, and then created a little bit of anxiety through that. And all these things I'm just used to now, and I don't really care anymore. Like it's just the way it is, but I'm just telling you in terms of update. And then the last symptom that still drives me nuts is neck pain. Specifically up like in the top vertebrae, there's some muscles, the occipital muscles that are really bad. And I get those treated every once in a while. So that is the current scenario. But like I said, it's like major improvements, but I'm still really not focused on it, which I think is a tell that things have improved. Because if they're there, but I've learned to accept them and they're at the point where they're not so noticeable anymore, then that's improvement in my mind. So that is that. What have I been doing to address those symptoms? So let's start with health and nutrition. I've mentioned this a million times in my previous concussion videos. I try and eat really clean. I eat paleo most of the time. I take supplements. I get as much sleep as possible. I have a pretty strict sleep routine. I try and get my exercise in every day. And that's not super vigorous right now, but it's mostly just like walking, running, cardio stuff. For supplements, right now I'm taking this stuff called Vital Greens. And I noticed something when I took this. Lou brought some home from her work, and it's got ginkgo, and I think that's what helped me focus a little bit more, because I do still struggle with like just focusing on certain things, certain tasks. And I noticed that when I took that, sorry, is that Elena in the chat? Anyway, I noticed when I took this, I had like way better focus. And that's the number one thing that I've been trying to combat is the fogginess and focus. And this helps actually, helps quite a bit. So I take this in the morning, and it's got a whole bunch of good stuff in it. It's a bunch of greens and a bunch of ginseng, ginkgo. Yeah, it's really good. And we take fish oil. We both take fish oil, because that's just a good overall health one. And I also take magnesium bisglycinate either twice a day or 400 milligrams before bed. And that really helps calm me down. It also helps with some of the anxiety that comes along with the disconnect. And blood pressure as well, which is great, because I donated blood recently, and it was high, so I should continue to take those. I also take a vitamin B complex, just general health, and for the metabolism of carbohydrates. And what is it? What does it do? Anyway, it's good for energy, and nutrients help metabolize carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm taking right now. I was taking something called Brain Evolve, which was intense. It tastes like, it's got turmeric in it. It's got a bunch of crazy stuff in it. I'm going to get another bottle and try it before I give a sort of recommendation, because I've only gone through one. I feel like it did help with sleep. It's got melatonin in it, which helps reset the sleep cycle. But it tastes like butt. Like, it's terrible. It's like spicy, nasty orange drink. But I'm gonna try it again. See if it helps at all. Christina, have you tried MCT oil? I've been using it for over a month. It's been very helpful, but you have to ease into it. Yes. So we've been making bulletproof coffee for the last few years, and that is grass-fed butter, MCT oil, and coffee. And that's something that does help with the focus as well. So sometimes, oftentimes in the morning before work, I'll blend up a bulletproof coffee with a tablespoon of grass-fed butter, a tablespoon of MCT oil or coconut oil. Although coconut oil, if you get the right MCT oil, it's better than coconut oil, because it can make you poop yourself. That's basically what I'm dancing around. So if you want a stable MCT oil, or use less coconut, yeah, that's why you have to ease into it, because it can give you the poops. But yeah, no, it's really good. Healthy fats, MCT oil, like we eat avocados every day, lots of healthy fats, mostly paleo, eliminate as much sugar and carbohydrates as possible, which I'm advocating for, but I mentioned at the beginning of this video that we're going to a beer festival tonight, so we are going to have to cheat a little bit. But I do notice the effects of that. So yeah, so that's as far as like supplements and stuff. Basically, like, if certain magnesiums cause, yeah, that's true. Magnesium citrate is bad for that, and I've learned that through experience. By the way, hi, Jers. Thanks for coming on here. Yeah, magnesium citrate and I forget the other ones, but I don't have any problem with the magnesium bisglycinate. It's it's got superior absorption. So this has not caused problems with me for that, but the citrate has. And any sort of like calming foamy ones, which is, I think, the citrate. Yeah, so that's that. And then for activity, basically just trying to get, I really hurt my neck doing kettlebells about a month ago, and I've had some severe discomfort. And so I've been avoiding weights for a while. But I am just doing my best to get in at least 30 minutes of walking, like hard walking or jogging every day. And I really should be doing more than that, especially because I sit most of the day for work. So I should be doing a lot more. But like I said, I've been taking a break because I really hurt my shoulder, which kind of transfers up into my neck. That already causes problems. So I've been avoiding that. What else? Okay. I said I've been taking a break. The only thing I've really been doing other than like trying to eat healthy, trying to get exercise, and yeah, the only other thing I've been doing is visiting my physiotherapist like once a month, if not once every other month. And she just kind of like works on those muscles and it really helps. And I feel it affecting my visual systems. And I really do feel like personally, my injury was as much a spinal injury as it was a brain injury. And I feel like that's a reason for a lot of the residual symptoms. And so I definitely recommend anybody who's dealing with a concussion or has been in an accident where your head was involved to make sure that you get your spine checked out as well. Because there's nerves that run down there and there's muscles that connect your skull to your spine, and there's a lot going on back there. And I think if you just focus up here, then you're missing out on potential problems contributing back here. And I think that's where things like physio, things like chiropractic, floating, acupuncture, osteopathy, all those things can be helpful. I was doing chiropractic for a long time, and then I stopped because I went to my physio, and my physiotherapist was saying that my lower vertebrae were hypermobile, and she thought it was because I was getting adjustments on my neck, and it was making these lower, like C3, C4 vertebrae hypermobile, but not addressing the tightness up in the top. And so these muscles were compensating, and it was just causing more problems. And so when I go to her, she focuses more on the problematic occipital muscles up here. So there's a large debate on chiro versus physio or both. I've done chiropractic, solely chiropractic. I've done solely physio. I've done chiropractic and physio, and I've seen benefits during both of them at different times. So I feel like it's something that you kind of have to figure out, like try and figure out on your own and do some research on that. Personally, for me right now, physio is what's working best, so I avoid the chiropractor. Also, Lou recently, actually just yesterday, she told me she's scheduled me an appointment. And I thought it was really nice of her because I hadn't really talked too much about anything, but I do still get extremely frustrated at times with certain symptoms, mainly disconnect, mainly just, it's the neck pain, it's the disconnect, it's the fogginess, it's the visual. So it's just everything. And sometimes just like realizing how long it's been and how frustrating it is sometimes, it gets to me. For the most part, it's just accepted as my new way of going about things. But sometimes I just get really frustrated and just don't know what to do. But I've decided that I didn't really want to talk about it. So Lou went ahead and set up an appointment for me, which I thought was really nice. And it's craniosacral therapy and massage therapy. And it's a 45-minute session. So I'll have to report back after I do that. But craniosacral, as I understand, is focusing more on the actual head and massaging the head. So I don't know what is involved with that. I've done a little bit of research on it. I know that there are a couple people who have recommended it and who have seen benefits from it. So I'll report back after I do that and let you guys know what's up with that. Christina, neck chiro has made a huge improvement, increasing blood flow and reducing headaches. Yes, absolutely. So that same for me initially too. Going to chiropractic really helped just keep things loose and and kept me from like getting all seized up and restricting blood flow and movement and causing other problems. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out the craniosacral. The other thing that I always want to mention, and I've been meaning to book again, is float. So floating or sensory deprivation tank. There's a place nearby here that has several float rooms available, and I've only really done it once, but I've been meaning to book 1 or 2 appointments since. And it's just, again, it's like more of the physical and the relaxation side of things. Check out floating if you haven't. And when I first did it, it had a huge benefit on my neck and spine as well. Very relaxing, helped me with sleep, all sorts of different things. I recently also got a call from my optometrist, the specialist, and they're wanting me to come back in for a checkup. And I'm sort of hesitant because I already called them not too long ago because I got new frames. I've had these frames for years. I called them and I asked what it would cost for me to get new lenses put into my new frames. And it was $400 just for the lenses and nothing else. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can't right now. So I've been avoiding that as well. I feel like there are definitely more opportunities for improvement there, but like I said, sometimes it's not worth the headache of thinking about it, honestly. So wasn't sure what that was. Float. So I floated in the tub the other day. Nice. Yeah, if you're going to do that, Christina, you can do it at home. I've done this actually quite a few times. I will go buy a big friggin' container of Epsom salts and put like 2 cups into the bathtub and fill it up with hot water and just lay there, making sure that there's not any pressure on my neck, which results in some awkward positions in the tub. And I'm always hoping that Lou never walks in when I'm doing that, but it's the next best thing. It's helpful, or just floating in a pool or something if you have a community pool or whatever. So those are some options. There's a concussion health center in Belleville. Interesting. Jers. I wonder if I would have come across that in my research. I know there's a lot there. The problem is there's so many places that are concussion centers, but some of them just don't know what they're doing, and that's just my take on things, because I went to several different places. I saw several different doctors. I think I saw 3 different doctors initially for my diagnosis, and then I went to 3 different clinics for my rehab, and my experience was that just because they claim they are concussion clinics doesn't mean that they know what they're doing. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean they don't, but yeah, got to do some research and try things out, see what works for you. Check this out. Do you have a link there, Jers? Cool. Well, I don't know what. I'm going to see if I can find. There are a couple questions on YouTube. If anybody else has questions, I know there's not a lot of people here at the moment. But if you are watching this after the live feed is over, then feel free to put your questions in the comments. I'm always willing to answer them. Every once in a while, I will get emails and comments asking for updates, asking for advice, and my advice is always to try things and see what works for you. but I'm always willing to try and help people, try and point people in the right direction. So you can leave your questions, comments, whatever in the description if you feel like it. And I think I'm going to switch things up with this. I think instead of putting the concussion content on YouTube, instead of putting it on YouTube, I might just do the live Facebook videos. Or oh, thanks for all the love there. I don't know who just smashed the hearts on Facebook, but thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of get tired of talking about it, but I know that some people find it helpful, so I don't want to stop. But I feel like I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know. Is Facebook better, YouTube better, or should I just keep doing this? Thank you, Jers. I still don't see a link though, so I wonder if it filtered it out there. It might be in the comments on YouTube. So I will check it afterward. I'll check it after, because sometimes I think it filters out the URLs. Anyways, I don't know if you guys have any questions. Christina, I don't know if you have anything to add, because Christina has also recently, I think semi-recently, gone through concussion and has been recovering for a while, right? Yeah, no problem, Christina. Thanks for showing up. Cool. All right. Well, like I said, if anybody's watching this after January 3rd, yeah, so it's been a few months for you too. So I don't know if you have anything to add. If anybody has questions or anything to add after this live stream is over, put them in the comments, and maybe I'll address them in another video, or maybe I'll just respond to them. You can always email me to robfamily@gmail.com. And we will be back to our regular scheduled vlogs on Monday. We're going to this really cool brew thing tonight. My buddy Isaac is brewing up some beer, and I'm excited because he's good at it, and it's going to end 2 streams at the same time. Thanks, Jers. You two have a great weekend. Boom.